I ran across a video, and you know, there are times where somebody will write something that you wish, you know, you said, well, that's exactly what I was thinking, or that's what I was saying. Or sometimes somebody will say something and you're like, okay, that's what I've been trying to say, and that's how I've been trying to say it. Well, I ran across a video of Ben Sasse sending a message to the Nebraska Republican Steering Committee. And I thought, this is what I've been trying to tell my family members that I love and my friends that I love for the past 4.5 years. Ben Sasse said it better than I have been able to say it for the past 4.5 years. And I wish every Republican, people like Nikki Haley, who were wanting to run in 4 years, or Mike Pence, who's looking to run in 4 years, or all of these people who are lining themselves up to run in 4 years, I just wish they would be honest enough to say these words to their followers. Take a look at what Ben Sasse said.
I listen to Nebraskans every day, and very few of them are as angry about life as some of the people on this committee. Not all of you, but a lot. Political addicts don't represent most Nebraska conservatives. Let's be clear. The anger in the state party has never been about me violating principle or abandoning conservative policy. I'm one of the most conservative voters in the Senate. The anger has always been simply about me not bending the knee to one guy. What Americans saw 3 weeks ago was ugly. Shameful mob violence to disrupt a constitutionally mandated meeting of the Congress to affirm that peaceful transfer of power. It happened because the president lied to you. He lied about the election results for 60 days, despite losing 60 straight court challenges, many of them handed down by wonderful Trump-appointed judges. He lied by saying that the vice president could just violate his constitutional oath and declare a new winner. That wasn't true. He then riled a mob that attacked the Capitol, many chanting, "Hang Pence." If that president were a Democrat, we both know how you'd respond. But because he had Republican behind his name, you're defending him. Something has definitely changed over the last 4 years, but it's not me. Personality cults aren't conservative. Conspiracy theories aren't conservative. Lying that an election has been stolen, it's not conservative. Acting like politics is a religion, it isn't conservative. Nebraskans aren't rage addicts, and that's good news. You are welcome to censure me again, but let's be clear about why this is happening. It's because I still believe, as you used to, that politics isn't about the weird worship could purge Trump skeptics. But I'd like to convince you that not only is that civic cancer for the nation, it's just terrible for our party.
You know, Willie, a lot of people can look at this and say, well, gee, I wish Ben Sasse had said this over the past 4.5 years. You know what? I'm glad he's saying it now. We had a cancer in the body politic over the past 4.5 years. We still have a cancer there. So I want good people on both sides who can reach out to whoever they can reach out to and start sending this message over and over. Yes, I should have done, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I'll see you on Twitter. Why didn't he do it here? Okay, we're dealing with today and moving forward. And Willie, that's an important message that any Republican who wants to lead this party, who wants to lead this country in 2024, needs to start sending to their base. And I love the line especially. Love the line especially where he said, yeah, something's changed over the past 4 years, but it's not been me. It's so funny when people come up to me in the airports and they'll go, yeah, I used to like you when you were conservative. You know, I smile and I let everything go past. But on that, I stop people dead in their tracks and go, oh, OK, really? Let's talk through the issues, sir. And 20 minutes later, they're like, why did I ever stop this guy? Because something has changed. But it's not what is and what isn't conservative. It's the Republican base who has followed this failed reality TV host and joined a personality cult. Hey, thanks so much for watching our YouTube channel. You can follow up on today's top stories and breaking news, or catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.